Oh, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. So you've probably made it past the prologue by now, and the training wheels quickly came off. Some of you might be struggling with combat at this point, wondering why the game's so hard. Some of you might find it just challenging enough, and some of you might find it easy. It's the beauty of a wide range of understanding of the game mechanics and actual player skill, which I talked about pre-launch when it comes to difficulty. So we're going to be giving you a decent couple of tips and tricks here to make sure the game's a bit more fun for you, no matter your skill level, and for you to master some hidden mechanics. Like, there's methods to insta-kill enemies easily, and there's types of damages that are insta-kill damages to you, the player. If you're hit by one of them, you're dead no matter what. But we'll get back to that later. But as always, if you enjoy this video at any point, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily, top quality content from your one and only pal Flicks. With a pal like Flicks, who better to have by your side? Stout just leaves you hanging after all. Big disappointment. Alright, so we've already made a video about combat in the early game, so check that out if you're still, in the early stages. But there's a lot less that you could actually do to make combat easier or more fair in the early game compared to the mid or late game. But what we're going to open up with is, what is insta-kill damage? What is Flicks talking about? As the name suggests, it's a damage that will insta-kill you no matter what. It's not getting hit by a sniper, it does like 10k damage. It's just, hey, you're dead now. Huh? It's pretty well hidden away from like the player. It's why I originally said you'll still be getting flatlined even later on in the game originally in my video. So once you get the second heart cyberware, very late in the game for those wondering, unless you rush it, it still costs like, I don't know, 100k eddies, high street cred, and 18 body attribute, I believe. But it's legit an extra health bar where if your health hits 0, it'll auto revive you once every like 2 minutes. But things like mines, sometimes grenades and car explosions, if you're in the car that is, falling off buildings as well in quests, they practically one-shot you, and it doesn't let the second heart cyberware activate. So when you're playing, if you see mines, tripwires, propane tanks, I don't care if you're trying to stealth or what, get rid of them as soon as possible. Shoot them from far away, do whatever you need to, because one stray round, I'm not joking, a single stray round from an enemy will legit ruin you right there and then, force you to reload a checkpoint or a save. And the checkpoints aren't that well made when you're free roaming. In quests, yeah, you're fine. So it happened to me a lot until I realized it. Actually, I think I realized it in the trap house. There's a trap house. I'm not gonna tell you where it is. Maybe I'll say that for a video. There's this trap house, some unique stuff in it, some unique lore. And when I went into it, I was like, bro, I keep getting insta killed. How's this possible? Even with like a fully armored up character, a lot of damage reducing things still happen. So there's also different types of special enemies you face in the game. Well, they start showing up more in the mid game at least. Enemies like Netrunners, even though there's a lot of Netrunners in the Maelstrom quest, and very speedy melee characters alongside snipers, robots, and all those things. But since I actually completely forgot speedy melee characters, the way they work is, it's not the shot, like you see them like weaving around going super fast. That's just an illusion. Technically your character is also doing that when being shot. It's your evasions, the evasion attributes will say skill, but no, it's your evasion, not even attribute. They use so many words that's tough to like make a evasion level, I guess you could say. Evasion chance, that's more clear. So like it's based on a chance whether they dodge around or not. So when you're facing these melee characters, don't aim. If you're aiming, it's not gonna do much because it's literally a chance to hit. So you want to actually spray them down. Like if you're facing one of these speedy melee characters, just spam rounds. Spam rounds no matter what. It doesn't have to be headshot. Just spam rounds and eventually some will hit. Because it's evasion, it's like, it's an illusion how they're dodging is pretty much what I'm trying to say. Like even if you shoot around right where they're dodging, it might still miss. So yeah, robots and netrunners can detect players sneaking by scanning them. It's a way to nerf how OP sneak could actually get eventually. While we're on the topic of sneak, you can't one-shot. If you can't one-shot an enemy with a silenced weapon, sneak is pointless for you no matter what, how far you are, no matter what. Even if you're like a mile away, I was sniping with a silenced sniper, and I didn't do a one-shot because I missed his head. I was pretty low level, had a lot of sway. My sniper was silenced. It was a unique sniper that I believe I got off Pan Am. Or no, it wasn't. I think I got during the Pan Am quest, but it wasn't off Pan Am. It was like an iconic drop. So yeah, I had a lot of sway. So yeah, I missed I missed the head, and he straight up detected me and ran like a mile up to me. So if you can't one-shot someone in sneak without like a critical, which criticals are kind of random, even if you have every single thing needed to increase it, I believe that I think the chance caps somewhere. I have no way of proving that, but I think it might cap at like 90% or something. So some of your shots aren't criticals. So yeah, so you need to find a different way of dealing with them if you can't one-shot them with a sneak shot, because they will straight up run a mile up to you just because, oh, look, I got shot. I know where he is instantly now. So the Netrunner's special enemies, they could be the biggest pain in your back or be absolutely useless as enemies. Their most common attack is overheat, very annoying, does a percentage damage I believe instead of just pure damage. So I remember early on in the game they were making me rage dealing with them, and here's a tip: if they're annoying you or just, you know, a minor inconvenience at best for you, if you have enough points in the body attribute, go to the Ripper Docs and get a body I'm about to say transplant, get a body implant that lets you negate all burn effects. Trust me, burn damage is the most common one in game, and it's only like 7,000 eddies. It's like dirt cheap. That's the funny thing, to never get burned again. But now, not everyone has a high body attribute. I didn't. I actually started pumping body after I maxed reflexes, because I saw, oh, 90% of the cyberware needs you to have a high body attribute, and cyberware is OP. Trust me, it's super OP. So yeah, there's actually an alternative, just in case you don't have the body attribute. You could go around the different clothing vendors and buy a special mod. Now I'm not sure if the mod spawns are the same for every single person, but mine, I actually found it at that weird dressed lady. I'm not gonna edit it on, but it's like this weird dressed lady. Yeah, I don't even know why I said that, but half of them like weird dressed ladies. I believe the mod is a lot more expensive than I'm sorry, the clothing mod is a lot more expensive than the cyberware. But yeah, you can just put out any of your clothes, like your hat or glasses, which you don't change that much, and it lets you negate burn damage. That's a way of nerfing Netrunners, really. They'll never be an issue for you again, no matter what difficulty you're playing on. Just helps a little bit. So it kind of just leaves mechs and snipers. When it comes to mechs, you barely actually face them. I think the entire game I faced maybe 3 mechs. I'd recommend just chucking grenades from behind cover at them, because grenades do 1,000 damage. They're pretty OP, and you just get a ton of grenades from looting enemies, and even if you don't, they're dirt cheap at vendors. Or there's this very, very overpowered strat in game because of how the AI works. The AI doesn't realize that you can shoot through cover with some weapons. The point of it is to get a power weapon and put a wall between you and the enemy, and they just start shooting them, pretty much nailing them through the cover. For the mechs, you can't hit the head or the body or just 0 damage unless you go behind them, etc, etc. So aim for the legs. Actually, if you aim for the legs, you can melt them in a couple seconds. I had a pistol build and Johnny's unique silver hand weapon, and that's how I deal with some enemies quickly nowadays. If I just don't feel like actually facing them, go behind cover, start popping some silver hands rounds, boom, they're done. Okay, so when it comes to snipers, I don't actually have like a foolproof way of, you know, dealing with them other than sticking to cover and wrecking them. But generally, snipers aren't that big of an issue for you at any point, put plainly. Okay, so the game's a bit buggy, like really, I can't say really enough buggy, but generally what you could do to take them down if people are, you know, really tough is to spam grenades. What's supposed to happen is they get knocked down or stuck in a getting hit animation, because every time you shoot an enemy, they're supposed to react to it. Actually, the issue is there's bugs, visual bugs, just a ton of bugs in the game that don't make that happen. So yeah, you're supposed to, when you spam grenades, you're supposed to react to it and get stuck in an animation. You keep spamming them, but there's even a game-breaking bug with this. If you get this bug, you have to reload a save. That's really the only way I could say it. The game starts bugging out so much as the further you get into the game. Like now, every time I play, I have a HUD glitch where I have like the crosshair permanently stuck on my like screen, and the worst part of that is I straight up can't like fine-tune my shot because the crosshair is somewhere, and you know, you can attach like scopes on your weapons. The scope on the weapon is somewhere else, so it's like it's really tough to aim shots that way. I have to reload most of the time. It's such a weird bug that I really hope gets fixed. But yeah, it could bug out in a way when I was fighting Max Tac, actually, where it wouldn't throw grenades. It was just doing the animation without throwing the grenades. I ended up wrecked because I kind of put them all in one corner, and I was planning to start chucking nades. I didn't have the nades. got wrecked. Provide my view went super like cyber psycho and max tag, wrecking them left, right, and center. Now, when we're making a combat vid, I guess it's very important to touch up on builds. The footage you're seeing, hopefully the footage you're seeing, don't know what footage we're using. You're seeing is me playing in the back. Might be like, you guys might be like, wow, oh my god, how are you doing so much damage? Or, oh my god, how are you doing so low damage? I'm not using my main weapon there. Actually, I'm using a pretty low level, maybe level 15 Johnny Silverhand pistol. My main weapon with its modifiers, my perks, my weapon mods, my armor mods, just my entire build, it'll do something crazy like times 100 damage or over. Actually, I'm just using fun weapons like Skippy for the memes, I guess. So yeah, when it comes to player skill, you can know all the mechanics, which I still didn't tell you all of them. There's actually a such thing as weapon levels, which when you pick up a weapon or an item in the game, including, well, okay, the only way you'll realize player level is if you take down enemies much higher than your level, and then they'll drop level 50 weapons. I've only realized this first when I went to Pacifica. I had a super hard fight on my hands. I was like hyped. I went and looted their items, and they're all level 50 that I wasn't going to be able to use for like another 40 levels or something. It was really annoying. So it actually also counts into unique weapons. They're scaled to your level when you pick them up. If you get Johnny's unique pistol at level 5, it'll be a level 5 legendary for the entire game, which will become completely garbage very fast. Like 5 levels, it's useless. There's 3 ways of making your weapons match your player level. One is upgrading them. This is very, very, very expensive. Like, don't do this. If you're doing epic or legendary items, they're just too expensive to be worth the hassle. At that point, dump the item, get a better weapon. No matter what its modifiers are, you can get mods to fix that. So, it just wouldn't be worth the trouble. You could craft the unique items. What crafting does is it destroys the old weapon and crafts a new one with a new rarity that happens to match your player level. Oh, and third, this is kind of a glitch. Very expensive glitch though. It seems when you sell an item and buy it back, it actually resets to your player level. But good luck buying a legendary item when it's like 100k eddies, which there are always ways of grinding eddies. I've got practically all legendary cyberware and the erendite, but grinding is, well, grinding. It's not fun. So anyways, that was weapon levels. As I was saying before, I forgot, weapon levels. All the game mechanics. Even if you know all the game mechanics, you need that player's skill factor, as in yourself, the person playing. Can you aim for headshots? Can you hit those headshots? Be true to yourself. It's simply yes or no. If you can hit headshots consistently when you need to, then use regular weapons and carry around a power weapon if you ever need to cheese a fight, alongside grenades, of course. But later in the game, you won't be really needing them so much. But if you can't hit headshots, that's not bad. The game offers a solution, and that's smart weapons, actually. My Skippy shreds extremely fast, which hopefully you saw earlier with me fighting max tac while I was testing recording settings, since this game hates being recorded. But yeah, Skippy shreds through enemies, so will any of the other smart weapons. The only drawback to them is they cost a lot of ammo to keep maintained and running, like a ton of ammo to keep fed, because they do less damage, but their shots are guaranteed to hit the enemy, so it's kind of a trade-off. Use more ammo to get the job done. Ammo isn't expensive in Cyberpunk 2077. It's dirt cheap, actually, all the different ammo types. It's just you'll have to spend time every once in a while going to vendor restock, because there's ammo caps. Maybe some of you didn't realize this. The max pistol ammo you can carry around is 500, max rifle is 700, max sniper is 100. I'm not sure about max shotgun, so don't quote me on this, but I believe it's 100. Also, I believe I don't really use shotgun, so picking 1 or 2 weapons and specializing in them is very important. But just because you're not using one of the attributes doesn't mean there aren't perks that you want in that attribute. I'm not kidding either. There's some perks in random attribute trees that just give flat up damage bonuses. I believe one of the weird ones I found was plus 15 damage against human enemies. So yeah, I took one of those weird perks early on to kind of, balance myself out. But make sure to check back in a bit to actually see me combining all these tips and tricks personally, myself and my Anarchy very hard playthrough, which is going to be rage inducing, to be honest with you. It's going to be interesting for sure. I am going to rage, I guarantee it. Oh, because enemies are going to have so much bullet sponginess, I guess you could say. So much HP for no damn reason. I'm going to be using like every single cheese tactic in the world to take them down. Oh, Smasher is definitely going to be quite the fight, even though he was a joke when I fought him because I was so strong by then. Even I guess I'm very hard. I'm probably going to be able just to run through him, except I'm handicapping myself a bit in what I can use just to be a bit more fun and rage-inducing. Yeah, but I know about melee builds. I've seen they could be pretty OP, but they rely on some clutches that aren't always going to be there for you. The way it works is there's perks in Cyberware that are straight up vampire level perks in Cyberware. Like a fully spec'd melee build could probably heal 20% of their health every time they take down an enemy, if they actually built it right. Hacking could also become very OP, but that takes a decently long time to get there. And personally, it's a lot less involved of a playstyle than I'd enjoy, but I'm going to have to be doing a hacking sneaking build for my pacifist playthrough. Alright, one last thing. If you ever start raging, grab a car and just run over your enemies. It's an insta-kill, funny enough, but after only a couple rounds, the car's gone. But that's kind of how you balance out combat to be a bit more fun in the mid-game and late game. But if you get late game, the game stops being fun. For one, the game's spammed with quests that aren't meaningful or do anything. Only the main quests and the side quests, okay, the side jobs, are fun. They offer a narrative, I guess. The gigs are so bad that they are a joke. I think they spent most of the time filling the game with stuff to do that they didn't like sit back and think, would people enjoy this, rather than let's just give people stuff to do when they're bored. But yeah, late game, you just pump yourself with all the cyberware in the world and the best mods, etc. That's why I'm dressed like an ape in that screenshot I showed. Those armor pieces give a lot of critical hit chance bonuses and critical damage. Not the best armor, but it fits my build because I get criticals like there's no tomorrow. With bonus headshot damage, it's a one shot to nearly everything. I think I finished Smasher off with like 2 clips of my weapon, I think. I melted him in like seconds. On harder difficulties, you'll probably need to buy the better healing items. They're also dirt cheap because I think Epic costs like 100 eddies per one and it heals 80%. As always, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment, all the amazing things. I think we've got a bit longer today, but combat's just one of those things that you have to factor in a lot of different ways, to be honest with you. I'll probably be showing you the majority of ways to cheese the game in my playthroughs before anything they actually make it into one of these videos. I do want to make a video about, cheesing the game a lot more. I think I'm officially ready to do those playthroughs, though. It's going to be rage-inducing but fun because I'm legit handicapping myself in so many ways I haven't started talking about, including saying no specking and reflexes. Reflexes is broke. Also, sorry for all the background noise in the world today. For some reason, I recorded at the worst possible time. It's like plainly how to put it. For some reason, everybody decided they want to talk outside my door today. No idea. Should have told them to shut up like 10 minutes ago, but I didn't.